Okay, let's unpack this. We've got a really captivating puzzle for you today. We're doing a deep dive into three visuals that, well, at first glance seem totally disconnected. There's a Lisa Perry dress, an MC Escher drawing, and the iconic Vertigo poster.
Right. Fashion, art, cinema, you'd think completely different worlds.
Exactly. But what's fascinating, and this is what we're getting into, is how much they actually have in common. Our mission today really is to uncover the surprising visual language they all share.
Precisely. And this sheet language, it isn't just about, pretty pictures. It's woven with optical illusions, perceptual games, visual geometries that genuinely mess with your sense of space and time. We're going to reveal the visual kinship, that's a good way to put it, that these seemingly disparate pieces share, show you how they use, well, similar techniques to impact your perception.
Okay, so where better to start than with MC Escher, the absolute master of mathematical art. We're diving into this specific drawing of his that perfectly exemplifies something called the Drost effect.
Yeah.
And this isn't just some clever visual trick, it's a pretty profound exploration of recursiveness and infinity.
It truly is. What's so clever, I think, is how Escher achieves that sense of an infinite loop. If you look on the right side of his drawing, you see an image repeating within itself over and over, getting smaller and smaller.
Right, recursively.
Exactly. Creating this structure that feels like it's caught in an endless feedback loop.
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant play on perspective. What should be straight lines, they actually appear to curve, evoking this powerful sense of spatial disorientation.
Yeah, it really throws you off.
It's essentially a high-level perceptual game. Very clever optical illusion. And the way the grid seems to revolve around those four corners, A, B, C, D, it directly challenges your perception of where you are actually standing in space.
It makes you question everything.
It does. Foreground, background.
Right.
What's even real?
That feeling, that pull inward into an infinite loop, that kind of disorienting motion in Escher's work, it's really fascinating.
So how does that same idea, that spiraling motion, that sense of dizziness, translate into high fashion? With this Lisa Perry dress, how does she pull off a similar kind of wearable illusion?
Well, it's remarkable how directly she translates it, actually. The dress uses these really striking spiral lines. They start right at the top and expand downwards, and they create this captivating focal point right in the center. It almost draws your gaze inward, like a vortex.
You can really see that.
Yeah, these spiral forms, they definitely generate a sensation of motion. It's almost as if the wearer is rotating around a fixed center, which, if you think about it, is just like the visual effect Escher creates in his drawing.
Huh. Interesting connection.
There's a very clear example of optical art, that style using visual illusions.
Right, like Bridget Riley. Exactly, Bridget Riley, Victor Fazerli, bringing that directly into fashion. And what's really remarkable here is that this very spiral, it also shares an identical visual language with the one in the Vertigo poster. It immediately evokes those feelings of mental spinning, imbalance, dizziness.
And that brings us straight to that iconic poster for Hitchcock's Vertigo, designed by Saul Bass, of course. It's just considered such a milestone in design history, and you look at it, you instantly feel its power. I remember seeing Vertigo in that poster. It just perfectly captures that feeling of being completely unmoored, almost dizzy with the story itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's masterful psychological design.
Totally.
That white spiral form on the Vertigo poster set against that really striking orange background. It isn't just aesthetically pleasing, is it? It visually conveys the very sensation of vertigo. Those lines radiating outward from the center, they powerfully evoke feelings of falling or like a complete loss of control.
It's the same kind of feeling.
It is. It's that same kind of disorienting effect we were just talking about with the Lisa Perry dress. But this spiral in the poster, it's doing more than just looking cool, right? It serves a crucial narrative function, too. It literally pulls the viewer into a psychological vortex. It mirrors the film's themes of obsession, mental descent.
Wow.
It's an entire story told in a single powerful image.
So, okay. We've got this mathematical drawing, a high fashion dress, and a classic film poster. As we start connecting these dots, what are the core visual codes, the things that really tie them all together, beyond just, a cool spiral? What principles are at play here across such different mediums?
Well, when you put them side by side, several key commonalities really jump out. First, they all feature what we could call centripetal forms.
Centripetal meaning pulling inward.
Exactly. Each one is organized in spiral or curved shapes around a very clear focal point. Your eye is just constantly pulled inward. Second, they're experts at optical perception manipulation. They play with the natural boundaries of how we see things to create these powerful illusions of motion. You genuinely feel like things are moving, even when they're completely static.
Right, that sense of movement is key. And beyond just creating motion, what other fundamental perceptions are they messing with? Are they playing with our sense of space, for instance?
That's a crucial point,
Yeah.
yes. Especially in Escher's drawing and the Vertigo poster, you see how plane and depth are deeply intertwined. They actively break any sense of a stable, consistent space. What looks flat suddenly seems to have depth, and vice versa.
It really makes your brain work over time.
It totally does. It makes your brain do somersaults trying to process it all.
Yeah.
And finally, maybe most profoundly, they all have this deep impact on the mind and psychology. Each one represents a kind of metaphor for dizziness, right?
How so?
Well, the dress transforms the wearer's body with this disorienting effect. The poster reaches directly into the viewer's psychology, simulating that mental turmoil from the film. And Escher, well, he just overturns spatial logic altogether, so purely intellectual dizziness, perhaps.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway here then? It's not just, hey, these things all have spirals. It feels like it's more about how they tap into something universal about how our eyes and minds interpret visual information.
I think that's exactly right.
These shared codes, the centripetal forms, manipulating perception, playing with depth, the psychological impact, these are powerful tools. They seem to transcend categories, allowing artists, designers, filmmakers to create these deeply resonant experiences.
Yeah,
This deep dive really shows how visual culture shares this common language. It talks about perception, infinity, mind games, recursiveness.
absolutely. And that Lisa Perry dress, it's far from just being an outfit. It genuinely establishes a visual dialogue with fine art, with graphic design, with one of the most iconic moments in cinema history.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it?
It really is. That seemingly disparate fields are constantly influencing each other, weaving this richer, more interconnected tapestry of visual understanding.
So for you, the listener, maybe the next time you encounter a spiral or a repeating pattern, or you just feel that sense of dizzying motion in art or film or even clothing, just take a second and consider what kind of visual kinship might it be building? What hidden emotional or psychological message might it be trying to convey?